Welcome to Talent Instinct, an electrifying space where we dive into how construction business owners revamp their hunt for top-tier talent by instinctivizing their efforts. It's time to spice up relying on systems and processes and discover prime insights on how to smartly apply their most important aspect, their instinct, as well as intellect, to pinpoint individuals who don't just fit in, but flourish. Let's face it, making the right hire for your business has never been more paramount. The stakes of the wrong hire can disrupt performance, profit, culture, and succession planning. Talent Instinct isn't about playing it safe. It's about conquering with calculated instinct. Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year. I generally feel like there is definitely a different excitement for this year. I certainly have it. I think that everybody felt the same with last year. We're exhausted. We've been working overtime, and with all the change and the ups and downs and, going around, really, I feel like this year we're going to have a bit more stability. Obviously, the interest rate's going up, which is what it's supposed to do, and a lot of people not taking on so many projects, a lot of people really reeling in what they're taking on is going to bring some stability in the market. So I want to talk about today, in the spirit of the new year, what are we doing to have some sort of projection on what are we doing this year? Like, do you sit down with your staff? Do you talk to them about what their goals are? Do you know what you want to achieve in the business? So for me, every year, without fail, I normally sit there on New Year's Eve. It's normally a tradition for me to sit there and think about what I want to achieve in the next year. For me, it's not just personally or just with work, it's everything. I want to talk about what in every section of my life do I want to achieve, what do I want to concentrate on, and how am I going to go about doing it? So I think the biggest thing as well is, we can all sit there and make goals, and that's fantastic. But if we don't sit there and work back how those goals are going to be achieved, so if we sit there with our team, for example, and we have certain targets, you really need to sit there and work back how you are going to achieve those targets. So again, with my team, before we finished at the end of last year, I sat there and I spoke to them about what did they want to achieve next year. What's their life goals? Is it traveling? Is it, going to that certain concert? Is it a relationship? Is it a house? Who knows? Do they want to further their career? How can I help them do that? Do I need to support them more? Do I need to give them more training? You really need to do, I feel like, an all-round sort of thing. So one of the conversations that I did have with a team member is I was saying to them that for me, it's really important. And I think that we, very much learned that through last year, is it's not even about work-life balance. It's also about being able to recharge. So I can't even remember the last time I actually fully had a holiday. So people see me doing trips, and they're normally work trips, and I'm always working in these trips. I don't stop. It doesn't matter where I am in the world. So if people that around me know that I went to the Philippines last year and I was working the whole time. I took 1 week to go to Boracay, and the next week I was in Manila. But again, the whole time I was still working. And, when I was in Manila, I was actually doing some presentations to help them streamline their businesses and put in procedures that would help them better acquire the better, talent and things like that, and recruit better people, how to actually retain, the people that they're recruiting, give a better service, all of that sort of thing. So that's what I also do. Not only do I obviously do recruitment, I've got Talent Instinct, and that's what Talent Instinct is about, is being able to coincide with how I've been able to be so successful at recruitment and what that is, and being able to talk to people in a language that they understand, or finding a different way to talk to them. So anyway, so point is though, again, I'm one of those people where, and most business owners are, we don't know how to stop. We keep on going, and that's what makes us sort of feel like we're getting ahead in a way, or you've got to be able to, as a really good business owner, delegate. And I have gotten to a point where I definitely love delegating, and I've, feel like I've trained my team very well. Is there always that feeling that they're never going to do it as well as me? Yes, I'm not going to lie. But, I trust that my team knows what they're doing, and they do it well. So my whole thing is that for this break, I actually kept on saying, I'm out. I can feel I'm worn out. I can feel I'm done. I can feel I need a break. I can feel I'm burnt out, and I'm not as productive as what I need to be, or feeling it, because I'm burnt out. And that's been a big lesson that I've sort of had to learn along the way. So to get back to where we're going with this, even with your team, like I spoke to my team and I just sort of said to them, it is really important that they are experiencing things outside of work, traveling, having a break, whatever it is. Because, what I was just talking about, you burn yourself out. You're not enthusiastic about your job anymore. You're not putting the best effort into it. Whereas if you are having a break, you've got that time to sort of collaborate and get together and want to come back to work. And one of my workers, she did actually say to me, she couldn't wait to get back to work. And she was telling her friends about how I have said to her that I want her to be happy and have goals and, be achieving things out of work. And she said that, her friends' bosses don't care. They don't take an interest. So my point is, don't be one of those people. Be a boss that, you don't have to be in people's personal lives and know everything. I don't believe in that. But at least know what they're trying to achieve. Is there a way that you can help them achieve their goals? Because with that becomes loyalty. There's a sense of loyalty there. With that, then why is there a reason for them to move? Of course they want to stay. I just think that it's super important. So I've sat down with my team this year, and we are going to talk about goals, and we're going to work out how they're going to be able to achieve those goals. I myself actually started working on my goals at the end of last year, only because I was so burnt out. So I still wanted to feel productive. So I started working on this year's goals last year's, so I didn't feel like I wasn't doing anything towards the end of the year. At least I'm still being productive, and I can start getting some things in motion. I then caught up with my team this side of the year as well, talked to them about what we're going to achieve this year, what I've got in mind, what I've got going on, and got them involved and got them excited on what the year ahead is going to look like. So I just thought that this would be a great episode to start the year off and talk to people about how are you starting the year off? What do your goals look like? What do your New Year's resolutions look like? Are you going to stick to them? And what does your team look like? What do they want? And how are you going to help them achieve it as well? So that's what I think is important and the best way to start the year. And then of course you need to do some follow-up. So you need to make sure that you are checking in with them at different points and seeing how they're going with achieving those goals. Do your team reviews as well. I think that's the other thing as well. Checking in and making sure that your team is as productive and as happy and as continuously sort of moving forward. Some of the things that I would remember as certain management skills to have is that if you do see your team and they're doing something great, say to them, re-encourage them and say, yep, that's great, love what you're doing, stick to that. I always like doing it too because it gives a bit of a benchmark on what my expectation is. So then they know that that's what they have to live up to. Remember, if you're going to say anything sort of negative, you have to say 4 things positive against 1 thing negative. Little bits and pieces like that, so you make sure that you are managing your team in the best way possible and you're getting the best out of them. And then we're all going to hopefully achieve those goals that we have set out for ourselves this year. I wish you all the best for the rest of the year. I want everyone to be kicking goals and doing their absolute best. I love hearing success stories. Please feel free to share your success stories with me. I'd love to hear them. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Thanks for listening to Talent Instinct. I'm Chantal Penny, and if you want more razor sharp insider info on instinctivizing your hiring game, then hit the subscribe button. Oh, and remember to drop a killer rating and review. Please don't hold back. Spread the news to fellow construction business owners too. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and soak up all of my content, please do so by stalking us on Talent Instinct and my brainchild Siteforce Recruitment on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.